Hello channel, welcome back everyone. We're here for a wee preview of the weekend. French special coming up, loads happening on Sorare. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I've had another bout of the old man flu, so there we go. Still living, so it's fine. And Celtic are back this weekend, which isn't always fine with all these different rumours, etc. But we'll come back to that in a wee minute. First and foremost, what I have a look at. Oh, press the wrong button again. The September calendar. So we've got some information on the special weeklies and everything coming up, which is nice to know. Obviously, some of the Champions League group stuff and everything hasn't even really been drawn yet, to be honest. So I think the draw's next week if you're in the Champions League, which Celtic are. So anyway, this 2024-2025 season is now in full swing. Special events, things are keeping getting better. So we've got the anti-stack special coming up this weekend, so that's pretty interesting. And here's a breakdown of the calendar for September. So we've got 3rd to 6th, we've got specialist running with pro cards and that. Think that's running on a weekend from memory. I think round about September the 6th there might be some of these daft international games on again. See, all the maniacs have all voted for the fighting special, so they're picking out some international guys that like a yellow card, etc. Recommend some Scotland players because they're not very good. 10th to the 13th we've got Global All-Star. September 13th to the 17th we've got Cap to 70, and then we're getting into the good stuff. So we've got European Champions League special, which is going to be the 17th to 20th. From memory, I think that's like the first round of games in the Champions League. So we're praying for a home game for Celtic. The other thing to point out there is we've got in-season and classic for the Champions League special. And we've got Global All-Star running out with that as well. So that's good because you can play your Champions League players just against other teams from the Champions League. So we want Real Madrid at home against Timbuktu and Celtic at home against somebody who's beatable, and it'd be nice if we didn't sell all our players as well, but there we go. 20th to 24th, Cap 200, so that's going to be interesting. With a lot of these ones, you know, obviously the cash looks if it's reserved for the big specials, etc., which just kind of looks if it's going to be the way of it. We've also got the Eredivisie special, so that'll be really good for fans of Joey Veerman, etc. I also see it PSV, the goalkeeper wants to leave, Buscaglia wants to go to Brighton, etc. So we didn't go too daft on the old PSV stacks, but a really interesting one. I guess the other point with that is it's coming after the first round of the Champions League, Europa, etc. So I think actually, the Europa and the conference might not start until the following week. So just be careful of that. No, it's not make a huge difference, but you do sometimes get some rotations after that. We've got the Underdog, which is going to be running on the 24th, and we've got the European League special, which I think European League means Europa League and Conference from memory. Round 2 the Eredivisie, so $35,000 for each one. I mean, that's in line with the Belgium one, which is excellent. And then we've got early access special, which is 27th to 30th. So for the European Champion special, you need 4 in-season cards across all scarcities. That's quite aggressive, but the money's pretty good. So, you know, that's what it is from that point of view. Eredivisie is back to 3 in-season cards for limited, 3 for rare, 2 for super rare, 2 for unique. Early access special, you need 1 early access special edition card, and the reveal ceremony is going to take place and you get a 10% chance. So basically you'll need to enter 1 card that's one of those special editions once they come out, and the rest is like a kind of all-star format with a bit of cash. So that's quite a good idea. I quite like that, to be honest. So, you know, if you do have one, or you go to buy one or whatever, you can just slot in 1. Doesn't say you got to be the first owner or anything, right? So if you have like really good stack for that weekend, then you go and buy one of the special edition cards, then you can play for the prize pool of $25,000. So seems pretty good to me. So preview for the weekend. First and foremost, we've got the French special, which I'm not really going to be participating in much myself, but let's give it a bit of focus, as we've said in the preview on YouTube. So Paris Saint-Germain against Montpellier, no real huge surprise there. Expected goals 2.61. So yeah, I mean, Paris Saint-Germain were always going to be up the top there. 41% clean sheet percentage as well is pretty high. We'll go to players in a minute, see if we can pick out anybody that seems sort of interesting from that point of view. So what we'll do is the French League, we'll look at the overview, we'll look at each of the regions, and then we'll come back, we'll look at some players and then some lineups, etc. Marseille, 1.97 XG, 41% clean sheet percentage. A really good win last weekend as well. All the Greenwood controversy, etc. Let's not talk about that too much. But yeah, pretty good fixture for Marseille. Reims can be quite solid, but being a Yves Diouf holder last season was a bit frustrating too. We've got Lille against Angers. Lille's an interesting one. They've got these big sort of Champions League games just now, so while they rotate a wee bit. Best clean sheet percentage, 57%. So if you've got Chevalier, that's really good for you. 1.59 XG for Lyon against Monaco. So a lot of these other games are going to be quite, quite tough to call. Nice with 41% clean sheet percentage, and also Lens, and 1.57 XG for Nice and 1.56 for Lens. Then Monaco, and then we're getting into reverse fixtures. Rennes are kind of interested. I mean, Rennes versus Strasbourg doesn't look that great on paper, but Rennes have got lots of interesting, exciting players like Kamine Guiri, who I love. So, you know, it looks quite competitive. I mean, if PSG win like 4-0 or whatever, it might not be competitive, but that's not the way usually it works out. So there we go. So let's return to the overall preview. We did touch on this quickly, and then we'll break it down into different regions. In fact, let's just do that anyway. So, competition, Premier League. So we've got Manchester City, 3.24 XG is really, really high, to be honest. Ipswich pressed a lot, did quite well against Liverpool, but gave away loads of chances, so can't really see much else bar Man City scoring a few goals. 61% clean sheet percentage, really high too. Liverpool next up, 2.78 XG. And 42% clean sheet percentage, although they'll probably be factoring in the last season they weren't really that good for clean sheets, but it was interesting to see them getting one at Ipswich, so hopefully that's a trend which continues. You'll see that in my teams a wee minute. Tottenham over 2 XG and 40% clean sheet percentage against Everton, so Everton were quite poor, bit of a battering off Brighton, which is unusual, usually quite solid at home. I watched the Tottenham game, played very well, probably should have won that game and let Leicester back into it, but played a lot of good stuff. Maddison looks quite good again as well. Solanke, I think, will settle in. Chelsea against Wolves, so that's away from home, 1.84 XG. Chelsea do have a Conference League qualifier midweek, but obviously they've got enough players to put out like 4 teams in a week, so that'll not matter to them. 1.7 XG for Arsenal, lower clean sheet percentage being away at Aston Villa. You would fancy Aston Villa to score. Newcastle, Bournemouth. Fulham against Leicester, kind of interesting one. I mean, Leicester looked okay at home, but I think Fulham are at home for that one as well. So that's the Premier League. Overall in Champion, Real Madrid, nearly 3 XG and 56% clean sheet percentage. So Ferland Mendy won't play, he gets sent off. Fran Garcia looks if he'll play. The rest of the team looks quite sort of pickable. Like, you know, I don't think there'll be many changes this early with no Champions League or anything started. Leipzig against Bochum, interesting one. 2.64 XG is quite high. PSG recovered. Internazionale Milano, always pretty solid at the back as well. So kind of interesting one for Champ in general with no specific Italian league competition. Never losing or Leverkusen against Mönchengladbach. Is away from home, so probably a wee bit more difficult, but expect Leverkusen to maybe score a few. Hoffenheim playing against Holstein Kiel, who have just come up, I think. It's interesting. Dortmund against Frankfurt will definitely be using Nico Schlotterbeck, I think. Marseille's dream we talked about. Atletico Madrid against Girona, that'll be a fun game. And not much else sort of standing out there anyway in terms of all the different fixtures. Let's look at Challenger and Contender, and then we'll have a look at some lineups. So PSV, best fixture and Challenger. So really interested PSV. I mean, I thought that Joy Veerman would go. He's always been such a good player. Had a poor Euros, so it's maybe worked in Holder's favour, if that makes sense. Boscaglia apparently wants to go to Brighton. Everybody loves Brighton these days. Must be Brighton Pier or something, I don't know. Well-run club though. Apparently Walter Benitez wants to leave as well, so I don't know what's going on there. That's a weird one. Who knows what to do. I don't have a PSV stack, but that's quite interesting, especially with a special coming up. I guess there might be a bit of a stampede for the good players if they stay after the transfer window closes next week. Sporting Lisbon against Firenze, 2.79 XG and 55 clean sheet percentage, quite nice. Benfica is against Estrela Amadora. Trubin, I think, probably going to make it by the looks of the reports, but not 100%. We'll see. He's in the Ukraine squad, so it can't be that bad. Quite a nice fixture there. Salt Lake with 2.5 XG. I've actually picked Diego Luna in a team which we'll come back to. Porto have lost Evan Nielsen, which is a shame. Feyenoord against Sparta, so we'll get Rotterdam. That's a derby, surely. Got to be Feyenoord Rotterdam and Sparta Rotterdam. 2.2 XG for Feyenoord. Not losing all their players by the sounds of it. So, well, though Gimena has been linked, so we'll see what happens there. LA Galaxy against Atlanta. It's really nice to get some of the MLS teams back as well, so we need to work through them fixtures wise as well. Nothing really standing out in terms of the clean sheets side of things. Pretty good fixture for Club Brugge, I suppose. Then in Contender, we have Dynamo Zagreb, Rangers and Celtic up the top. So Zagreb 2.86 XG and 64% clean sheet percentage. I think we're quite lucky to keep a clean sheet midweek against Karabag, but they do look a lot more solid. There's no two ways about it. I guess the problem there is such a big fixture for them. They won 3-0, but they've got the return leg, so will they still rotate a bit? I think they probably will, knowing how much they do rotate between those games from before. So keep an eye out on, particularly in Predictor Mike's doing the predictions there, and he's dynamite at the Zagreb stuff. Rangers against Ross County, 2.76 XG, 52% clean sheet percentage. Bit of a banana skin when Ross County did beat Rangers last season. It was in Dingwall, or away from home. This one's at Hampden. Bodo Glimt have, not in season or whatever, but have guys there. I watched their game actually last night, thought they were excellent. Really good. Again, they could rotate between the games because Champions League's just crucial, obviously, to them. Celtic against St Mirren. So we did have a quick preview of the Celtic lineup and everything on the last video, but let's have a look at it. So not much changed, but there's been lots of rumours, which is a complete pain in the backside. So let's move me out of the way because I always get overtaken by stuff in the bottom right hand side here. Schmeichel, really good. Very impressed with him. Good on the ball. Good addition. Taylor, Scales, Carter Vickers and Johnson, pretty solid there. I don't really see any issues as far as I can see. All played in the cup. Cal McGregor looks pretty sharp. Rio Hatate have got 65% in that just because of Riley's percentage. There has been a serious bid from Brighton, which is apparently a Scottish record transfer fee. There's been no more developments on it, but I've purely got them at 65% because there's a transfer risk, and also it's the last game before the window closes. So, who knows what's going to happen. The transfer market seems to be really heating up. If he doesn't play this game, at this stage I think he will play, but could be developments quite quickly. If he doesn't play, then I think Hatate would play there and Bernardo would come in. So that's the explanation there. Daisen Maeda played in the cup at the weekend. Excellent. Played through the middle, actually. Plays a forward, scored 2 goals. Looked really good. Furuhashi, an interesting one. So we've got links to Manchester City there. And it's come from Athletic and also come via Romano, who I don't really like, to be honest. But there we go. I don't know what to make of that. Is it as a serious rumour? would Celtic sell him at this point? Would they sell Furuhashi and Matt O'Reilly? I don't know. I mean, Celtic clearly aren't going to sell all their best players. We've got money in the bank, so someone might go, but I don't think two or three will go. The 60% was mostly based on Furuhashi never played at all in the cup, so he was left out to rest his recurring shoulder injury. So I think he'll be back, all things being equal, with the other stuff with transfers. 20% Ida just purely reflects facts. Only played 20 minutes in the last game, 30 minutes for Norwich. Didn't look sharp, so I think he'll need to be built up fitness-wise. Nicholas Kuhn has been absolutely superb. Excellent. Really finding form, playing great. Brilliant again the cup. Club America, next best fixture there, so they do have cards, etc. Vissel Kobe, kind of interesting one. Again, guessing the lineup and everything's quite difficult. And Japan, CSKA, not like in season at the moment, but Barco's doing absolutely brilliant there. So really quite interesting. So before we go on and have a look at lineups, reminder on Predictor.fi, I'm doing the Celtic stuff on there, and everything's all online now in terms of subscribing, so you can just subscribe to like a region for £2.49 per month, which sounds quite good. Some people just only play one region. There's an offer ongoing at the moment for 2 weeks, which is a sort of early access, cheaper offer. If you use the code McBrideAce, then you'll be in a draw for a Furuhashi limited Man City card. No, only if you open him at Man City after he's signed for Man City. He's in the background. What am I going to do on my wall? Anyway, with Furuhashi Celtic card properly. But you've got to buy access to all regions. If you just go for the £2.49 one, then you don't actually qualify for that, sorry. But thanks to the guys at Predictor.fi for running stuff like that as well. It's all been really good, which is great. So now on to the fantastic Sorare UI, which I just love. It's just magic, so it is. Anyways, I'm sure Sorare will take that feedback on board and we can get past that. But let's see what we've managed to get in so far. So French special I'm not going to play. I did have Rulli, the goalkeeper. I was going to build a couple of cards in with him. His price went up like 15 quid or whatever, and I just thought, you know what, I'm just gonna sell him. And once I've done this part, we'll just have a quick look at gallery, and I'll kind of partly explain why what I've been sort of spending my money on. But EPL, so yeah, it'd be good to see Liverpool keeping a clean sheet. Throwing a cheeky Sugawara in here, I think he'll be pretty good at home for Southampton. If you look at Egal's fantastic spreadsheet, in terms of players, got this set to under 23. I forgot to do the France stuff as well, so I'll do that at the end. Bear with me. I will have a look at that regarding France. So Premier League wise, in terms of projected scores, Sugawara 79, so that's actually pretty good, right? I guess a lot of that's based on his form in the Eredivisie, etc. But yeah, he could well capable of getting decisive. Going with Liverpool stack, wee bit different this time. I picked Jota the last time, and I do think, like at home, Liverpool should score some. But I'm initially going with Andy Robertson. I just think that Robertson and Trent take the sets for Liverpool. Liverpool at home. Salah, I'd hope will get some goals and assists. Jota, I'm not sure will keep that place indefinitely, but it looked pretty good, so I think he probably will start again. So I could put Jota in there, but at the moment I'm kind of going for more of a defensive anchor. Salah to get goals or assists, and Kevin De Bruyne against Ipswich seems a really good option. I think he, should play, obviously. Played the last game, so no real reason to think he won't play this one. Bernd Leno, Virgil, Szoboszlai, Doku and Jota again as Division 2 rather than Division 1. I really like that team. I mean, Leno's got quite a good projected score at home. So Leno's projected score is 69 at home, and obviously we discussed Liverpool and everything there as well. So UI isn't brilliant, I know that. We've already discussed that. We've managed to get ourselves up to Division 1 in La Liga, which is brilliant. Really happy about that. So, we're talking about $2,500 for first now. Last weekend, there was only about, I think, 30 entrants to this, so pretty much everyone got $100. So I take that again. That's my present for being promoted. There's only 18 in just now, so that could happen again. I know people won't like that, but I don't really mind certain divisions being more generous. And at the end of the day, the issue is they haven't sold the full supply yet. So later on, as the season goes on, it will become more competitive, etc. I've sold a lot of supply, but there we go. Courtois, Carvajal, I think will play. I don't have Rudiger, Red or Militao yet. They tend to get more AA, but I think Carvajal might have a chance of getting a goal or an assist. He's a bit more hit or miss. That could let the stack down, there's no doubt about it. Bellingham, captain, really pretty good on the AA. Hopefully at home can sneak a goal or assist. Mbappe and Vinicius do the same in the tin. Interesting thing is you'll see later I put Rodrigo in the under 23s and might live to regret that. I don't know. I might swap Vinny and Rodrigo because Rodrigo was on sets, but we'll see. Could be a dominant game. There's not that much in it in terms of projected scores, but I don't think projected scores are really taken into account. In fact, he just had sets, so we'll need to review that. I've put this team in Division 4 because Calhoun's playing against Real. He's mother La Liga goalkeeper, so there we go. I don't have any specific Bundesliga teams in. I've used the guys in Champion, etc. So let's have a look down. Quite like this team. Courtois, Danny Parejo's got 2 games. Marquinhos should start, I think. Griezmann got an assist last game. Girona could be quite an open game. And Alvarez to get his debut, hopefully. So that's Division 1, and hopefully that hits big. Obviously there's huge rewards in that division. Pretty strong lineup overall. Kind of maybe like another option there as a set piece taker or whatever, or a really nice Champ Super Rare, but they're very expensive. Champ Classic Crushers, so we've only got a Division 2 here, and Hradecki, Schlotterbeck, Marquinhos, Wirtz and Lee Kang in, so I quite like that team. I think that's more than good enough for Division 2. The Chumps, as I call them, Upik Meccano, captain. I'm not sure Martin van der Voort's definitely going to play, so let's use Predictor 5 for that and see what the script is. So, Champion, and we've got their Bundesliga. Leipzig. Galassi. I was going to swear there. So I'm going to have to change that. That'll be why Martin van der Voort's a bit cheaper as well, right? That's a pain in the ass. I do have some reasonable options, but obviously it doesn't help that Verbruggen's injured and all that jazz. Safanow's moved, doesn't really play at the moment. I was kind of banking on Van der Voort. That's a pain. I suppose I'm probably just going to have to, the moment risk Agrizabala. He might be back this weekend. Probably need to pick up an Archamp goalkeeper at some point if that persists. I did think that Martin van der Voort would play, so that's not ideal at all. Although it's a Division 2 team, so I'm not really minding as much taking a bit of a punt there. I guess I could move Zion Suzuki in there as well, move him up a division, so that'll be a more of a late decision. Challenger I haven't picked yet. I'm going to come back to that. I'm not going to pick any more in the video because I'm feeling absolutely rank now, to be perfectly honest. So there we go. Contender. So got classic D1 entry. Cash entry wise, I think it's got to be Division 2, sadly. I haven't picked any of this stuff yet, so with Celtic you're just going to have to be guessing, unfortunately. I'm going to leave that more until later, just with all the different transfer stuff that's going on, so let's just focus on who I've actually picked. Team A and under 23s, so Barzik, if Trubin was injured I'd play Samuel Suarez here, but looks like Trubin's going to make it. Hugo Bueno started really well for Feyenoord. Bulak's got a really good game against Beershit, as I call them. Adam Ida, I'm going to put him in there. I mean, I don't think he will start the game, but he'll still be a threat from the bench, so he could start, and most likely he's got a good chance of a goal or assist. And Arne Zentner's been absolutely brilliant. Not the easiest game away at Griffa for, but there we go. Team 2, I think Guttelbar hopefully will be back in, bit of rotations, etc. in the last game. Josh Doy's got a good fixture. Julian Ponsu got a 77 last game, so it's not the easiest game, but they are at home to Grenoble, so expect him to dominate that game. Troy Parrott, again, not scored many in the league yet. I think he'll catch fire soon, and we Koki Saito, and Team 3 just kind of lobbed in at the moment, to be honest. Under 23 is rare, so this is a real interesting one. We've got like a lot of the big hitters, Xavi Simons, Musiala and Rodrigo in Team B. I probably should swap that over. I'd probably put Rodrigo in Team A, to be honest. Just if you have a look at this, Jacob Andreka's project scores really high actually at home. He's been really good. So let's see. So Elise is projected 100. I've only got a limited to him. Diego Luna projected 82, which you can understand. Matt Riley, I'm not really too confident on at the moment with all the rumours. Andreka's project scores 82. Sarawi's got a really high project score, but again, he's not really been playing from the start yet from Leo, so that's an interesting one as well. So I'll probably toggle about a bit with this. I think I could probably play Owusu Ojuro here. Might put Trubin in here if he's more certain to play, but Owusu Ojuro will. Hugo Bueno in again, and I guess probably Rodrigo for Musiala or Andreka, because Wolfsburg away is not like really a walkover by any means for Bayern Munich. Xavi Simons again in this team, so it's a bit weird having that, but I want to get Division 2 up to Division 1, and the other ones in Division 4, I think started at Division 5, got promoted. Sorry, this one will be in Division 3 because it's projected to Division 3, so there we go. Limited wise, some really nice teams as well. So we've got Michael Alicia in here as captain, Owusu Ojuro, Cole Palmer, and Musiala and Bueno. So I really like that lineup. Taking more of a risk in Division 2 with Trubin, Antonio Silva, João Neves, Wirtz. Not a great project score for him, but like obviously, you know, the scores were a bit lower over the Euros, etc. And Andreka, we mentioned there as well. Anyways, I did promise that we would have a look at the player database for the French special, so let's do that, and then we'll get things finished and I'll go away and lie on the couch. So France League 1, so this is just filtered like all the highest project scores for everyone, not just like players that I own myself, just for the whole league. It's quite interesting, so maybe pick out some gems here. I'm not particularly playing this. Said I did sell Rulli. I know that's the name. Why does it keep appearing there? I know that's the name of the player. Egal, turn that off. Yeah, I sold the Rulli limited. I just didn't really have all the funds to put loads of different teams in and everything. It's a shame to miss specials, but you can't play everything. So Sorare, I project 100, but start percentage wise, you know, will he start? Christopher Perry's an interesting one at Le Havre, pretty solid fullback. We'll just get past Mason Greenwood. I mean, I don't want to have any comments on that situation at all. I can understand why people are still really annoyed at that situation. Lamine Camara, interesting one. Andres Gomez, I think that's the lad just signed from MLS. Interesting minutes might be the issue there, I guess. Got Desiree Douy, I think's moved to Paris Saint-Germain today as well. Coulimendo, interesting one. Herf Coffey there, so he's the highest of the actual goalkeepers, etc. Fabian Ruiz, I mean, honestly, he was unbelievable at the Euros. I don't think he started the last game, so you know whether or not he actually plays is an interesting one. Akraf Hakimi, again, played a lot over the summer. And then we're down into the projected 67s, but let's have a look, because I know that people will be wanting to have a go at this, so let's have a look anyway. Jordan Tezzy's joined Monaco, so that's an interesting one. As I said, PSV seem to have some issues at the back now, which is not very good for Stacks, for want of a better word. Magnus Agliush doing very well. Vitinha project 65, but looks like he's on all the sets and everything now, so you know he's a very expensive option, but I think he will be money well spent this season. Donovan Leon doing pretty well at the moment. João Neves came on and got 2 assists for PSG, again pretty expensive player, but really quite good and a good long-term buy, I think, obviously. Spent a lot of money on him, but you know what I mean. Lucas Chevalier, excellent. Just be careful with Lille. They've got the big Champions League game. Could be a risk of rotation there. Bourigeaud, I think, is staying. Majeki is injured. And then we're going down into the 60s and the 59s. Really in there with 59. Said I did sell him as well. So we'll have a final look at what's been happening with the gallery. I would say I have picked a lot of those teams off camera, but just not really sort of feeling it so much today. And if they could update the UI and make it less challenging, that'd be good as well, right? So what I've been spending my money on, up to 5% in Celtic collection. So picked up Lean Scales and Alistair Johnson. It's nice to get to that 5%, to be honest. Managed to get Luis Palma as well for 30 quid, which is really quite good. On the Real Madrid side, up to 4% there. So Brahim Vallejo and Fran Garcia coming in, all quite cheap options. Fran Garcia is actually going to play this weekend, so a real no-brainer type buy. Vallejo won't really play, might even be going away to somewhere else, but again, I'll just leave him unopened and leave him in the collection. Brahim Diaz, I think he'll get some games on rotation later on. Picked up an Owen Wijndal. There were rumours of Celtic buying Owen Wijndal, and I think we will still be in the market for a left back as well. So yeah, it's a bit of a minefield just now. Transfer window's open. It's difficult. It's only just over a week left. I mean, we've got to the end of this weekend, and then not that much on next midweek, just the return legs of the Champions League playoffs, and then Celtic are playing Rangers next weekend. So, and it's at Parkhead. So yeah, it could be a difficult one for the Celtic board if we start selling our best players, especially depending on who comes in to replace them if they actually go. So we'll finish on that. Does look like a serious rumour for Furuhashi. If Man City come in, it's quite hard to keep players, no doubt about it. He's on a long contract, so if they come in and he says he really wants to go, personally, I think, at his age, 29, 30, then albeit he's really good. I love him. He's on the wall behind me. I always love Furu, all that sort of stuff. But I think he's maybe more replaceable for us at the moment than Matt O'Reilly. I mean, Matt O'Reilly I think is our best player. So if he goes, that's a big void to fill in the midfield. Brought in Bernardo. There's links with guys like Bogus, who's been doing excellently well for LAFC. So I'd take him in a heartbeat. Engels at Augsburg, but who knows really? There's lots of rumours, and as I said, they don't always come to fruition, so it's quite a tough one. So there we go. We'll end on that note. Hopefully showing you some nice teams for the weekend, some nice selection headaches, some choices. I was going to have a look at the anti-stack special, but I've run out of energy now. I'm just coming down with the man flu. So anyways, hopefully I've recovered in time for a few drinks at the weekend. I've got a couple of things on, including a charity thing on Saturday, so I'll make a miraculous recovery, I'm sure, for that. I won't be around on Friday night either way, because I've got something on Friday, so there'll be no rewards video on Friday night. Just in case you're wondering whether I've actually died of the man flu or whatever, or if I've been inflicted that much that I've been totally stuck to the couch. But there we go. Anyways, I'm just rambling and talking rubbish now. Thanks very much again, everyone, for watching. Thanks for using the code, signing up to Predict our Fi as well. Hope you have a really nice weekend, and we'll end in the good old customary fashion. Good luck and go fuck.